God, you foot people, I swear. I don't have a problem, but you're very persistent. You're very persistent. Like I said, it's an innocent enough kink, but the persistence is incredible. Have you ever been to Indonesia? I have not, but I would love to. There's basically no place in the world that I wouldn't be interested in going. I think it's all fascinating. I love traveling. How much water do you drink? I don't know, a lot. Ugh. Definitely when we have babies whose moms abandon them, that's hard because then that's like a lot of taking care of them and they always have health issues too, but we do our best. Any opinion on Cleveland, Ohio? I think Cleveland's underrated. I like Cleveland. It's a lot like Kansas City. People are like, ugh, Kansas City. And then they come and they're like, oh, this is actually pretty great. It's affordable. It's easy. There's not crazy traffic. Plenty of stuff to do here. It's a great place to be. People ask this a lot. It kind of depends. Like, I would love to say, you know, something with the word fancy in it because that's my nickname, but there's really not a song that has the word fancy in it that really gets me going, so probably not. Why does everyone hate Colby? I don't know. I like Colby. I mean, I know why, because he says a lot of really insanely inflammatory stuff, and I don't like that part of him, but that's not the real him, so I don't know. I kind of look past it, I guess, but that's probably also because he's never directed it at me, and if he did, I probably wouldn't like him. I don't know that I'm really qualified to write a book, but if I did, it probably would have to be on the only thing I'm qualified to write about, which is me. But I don't know that anybody would be interested in reading a book about me. What mascara do you use? Really cheap CoverGirl mascara. I don't know that I'm really semi-famous. It's a weird thing though. Like even the few times I do get recognized, it's weird. It's genuinely weird. I think it's weirder for my son though. He gets really embarrassed about it. Like if we're out and someone comes up and says something to me, he gets really goofy about it. Does Glory ever allow people to come watch fighters train? Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, don't be a doofus, but yeah, of course you can come in and watch. Would you ever visit India? Yes, I would love to visit India. Your favorite UFC fighter? I know you respect them all, but name just one. I don't have a favorite. I genuinely don't. Like, they're all different. It's like asking me who's my favorite kid. Well, I only have one kid, so I do have a favorite kid. Bad example. Are your feet ticklish? God, you foot people, I swear. I don't have a problem, but you're very persistent. You're very persistent. Like I said, it's an innocent enough kink, but the persistence is incredible. Any, literally any. I don't even care at this point. I just want to do it. The travel is hard, and especially I've been home. What's today? I don't even know what today is. Thursday? So I've been home 4 days from Singapore, and I'm still like so foggy. The travel is really hard. It's hard, but I have a great support system between my husband and my nanny. I couldn't do it without either of them. And my son's at an age where we have a lot of talks about why I'm gone so much. And, you know, I think he's pretty wise for his age. And there's times where I get upset knowing that I'm going to be leaving, especially if it's for like a longer trip, like Singapore. I was gone for 8 days, and I start getting emotional, the night before I leave usually. And he's so good about giving me pep talks, and it's amazing because I don't know, just the wisdom that comes out of his little 8-year-old brain, encouraging me to, pursue my goals. And he knows that I'm doing this for, important reasons. So I appreciate that. And that helps a lot. Do you have any, I almost thought this said, do you have any lingerie injuries? This is lingering. This is how tired and how hot I slam. Do you have any lingering injuries? Not lingerie injuries, lingering injuries from BJJ. Nothing too bad. My neck isn't great at all, but that's also a combination of I had like a really bad fall off a horse. And then my left knee is not great because Grant Dawson accidentally tore my MCL. Whoops, daisy. This is so cliche, and you hear a lot of fighters talk about it. You have to be able to embrace the grind. And that's true of like, man, it's not just fighting, it's everything. It's what I'm doing now. The grind of traveling, the grind of watching. For that Road to UFC show that I watched over 120 fights over like a week. And it's a lot. And at some point I did not want to watch any more fights. I really didn't want to, but in order to do my job well, I needed to. So I don't know. I think if you rely on motivation, that's the pitfall, because all of us, and especially I'm the same way, motivation is not, it comes and goes, right? Some days it's there and some days it's not. You have to rely on discipline, and it's not as sexy as feeling motivated, but it's necessary on the days where you don't. I can't really see your picture, so no, sorry. But maybe if I click on it, I would. Are you for open scoring? This is a good question. I am not. I know that's not an overly popular opinion, especially among fighters. They're mostly for it. I've called fights with open scoring, and both for Invicta and for LFA. And I'm not saying that there's like huge differences in how I felt like certain things played out coming into a third round, for instance, when a fighter knew that they were up, but enough where I just didn't like it. And sometimes I think the fighters don't want to admit that this sport is an entertainment business, and part of the entertainment that we have come to love and enjoy, and I think really injects a lot of drama into the situation, is awaiting a decision to be read out. And it just takes away from the moment when going into the third or going to the fifth, you're pretty sure you know who's going to win the fight. It just kind of is like, I don't know, not a fan. Although I'm not like going to pitch a fit if they do it. I'm not adamantly against it. I'm not a huge proponent of it. You ever go up in a fighter jet with your husband? That's a weird question. People will have this impression that my husband's a pilot. He's not. There's one picture of him on the internet where I bought him a fighter jet experience where I paid like a lot of money for him to, in one day, go through this schooling, and they take off and they land the plane for you, but you do the rest of the flying, and you learn how to do different tricks and such. So I bought him that like forever ago. So that's why it looks like he's a pilot, but he's not a pilot. He's a business owner. I'm a big fan of Joe's. I'm a big fan of LCs, which no one ever talks about LCs. And I'm a big fan of Q49. Q49 is really good. What was he eating from that tree? They're talking about my son, and I posted a video of my son eating like these berries right off the tree, and they're so good. Mulberries. So we have a mulberry. We got a few mulberry trees, and the berries are, oh my gosh, they're so good. It's like if a blueberry and a blackberry got together and had like the perfect little berry child. They're delicious. That's disgusting. No, I don't. However, right as I was saying that, if I'm being honest, their hush puppies are pretty good. My mom, this is so gross, she was super into health food, but had like a real weakness for Long John Silver's. And so as a kid, she would take us there. So I have had it, but not since I was little. Are you ambidextrous? Nope, I am not. What's your 1 mile pace? So slow. So slow. Will you make your hair brown one day? Probably not. I've been a blonde my whole life. I mean, yes, I do dye my hair, but like I can show you pictures of me as a kid and I'm blonde. Would you go on the Joe Rogan podcast if he invites you? Obviously. Yes, of course I would. That's everybody's like dream. Joe's amazing and he's got an incredible platform. Of course I would. Am I married? Yes, I'm married. I think I've answered this before, and this will be the one I end on. Yes, not really a fight though. It was more of a argument that ended with me punching one of my college buddies, and he deserved it. He really deserved it. He was being a jerk, and so yes, I punched him. And I knocked him down. I did not knock him out, but I knocked him down. Probably didn't hurt that he was hammered. So I can't take credit for having like some incredibly hard punch, but it felt good at the time. I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of always secretly wanted to like get into a fight with a girl. I don't know, I'm too old for that now, but there was definitely a time where I was like, oh, maybe tonight's the night. Maybe someone will mess with the wrong bull. It is so hot in this room. I'm so tired. I'm losing my mind. Thank you guys for checking out my fan Q&A. Listen, I don't even know how to wrap this up. It's so hot in here. I wish you guys knew. Let me look this up. Yeah, it's 90 in here right now. I'm gonna go. All right, we'll see you next time.